Okay, this is the second part of 6C. So I went over numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 on part 1. So this one I'm going to go over number 7 and number 8. So on number 7, we're going to be finding the z-score, or the standard z-score, or the z-score. So those are the three different things that can be called. So the formula for this is on page 389. And we already went over this in one of the other problems in part 1. So for this one, it's going to be the data value. So in this case, it's going to be 75, because that's what we're dealing with. 6 feet 3 inches, which is 75 inches. And then we're going to subtract the mean, which is 69.7. Then we're going to divide by the standard deviation. So subtract the top, divide by 2.7, and you should be getting 1.96. So when you go to look at the z-score table, you'll notice that it doesn't have a 1.96. It just has a 1.9 or a 2. So in this case, on these problems, you're going to ignore that 6, and you're just going to look at the 1.9. So you're not going to round at all. You're just going to drop that off and look at the 1.9. So if you look at the z-score, you get 1.9, which is next to the 97.13. So the answer is 97.13, which on this one, it asks you to round to the nearest whole number. So then you would need to put 97. Okay, number 8. So on this one, you can go through and read it. We're using the same formula, but we're looking for something different this time. So if you look through all of this, to be in the 85th percentile, so if you look at your book to find the 85th percentile, we're going to end up with a z-score of 1. So we're rounding down, we're not going to round up. So on this one, let's say our z-score is equal to 1 because of this 85th percentile. Then another reason why is if you look at the table, that 84.13 is closer to 85 than the next number, which is 86.43. So we're going to use z being 1. So if we look at the formula, we're going to have the z-score is equal to the data value. Well, we don't know what the data value is. That's what we're actually looking for, because we want to determine what the minimum score needs to be. So we want to find what the score is. So let's just put x minus the mean, which is 500. And then we're going to divide that by the standard deviation. So this is the formula that you're going to go through and solve. So it's a formula that we've used, but in this case, we're looking for something on the right side of the formula instead of solving for the z-score. So you can think of this as 1 over 1 and cross multiply. So you have 1 times 100, which is 100, equals, and then 1 times your x minus 500, which is just x minus 500. And then to solve for x, we add 500 to the other side, and we end up with x equals 600. So that is the minimum score. Okay, so if you have any further questions on any of these from part 1 or part 2, please post it to the discussion board.